This segment of Worst Take is where we react to sound bites about the Knicks around the NBA podcast sphere and the media landscape. We play the takes, we react to the takes, and you give me your thoughts. Rate the take. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Is it fire? Is it tomatoes? You guys be the judge. This is your show. So first up, we got Austin Rivers going 10 toes down on the Knicks coaching situation, and he sheds more light on his tenure with the Knicks. Remember, they showed him the door and brought Derrick Rose in. Here's Austin Rivers breaking it all down. We got to listen to this in its entirety. Here we go from the Austin Rivers Show.
It's just the way they do business that people look at and be like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this, okay? If you're a coach, first off, why the fuck would you want to deal or be in this situation? Thibodeau just went to the conference finals and it wasn't good enough. They fired him, guys. They fired Tibbs. And I'm not really a Tibbs guy, okay? I played for him. It wasn't the best experience personally. Didn't treat me well at all. First day of camp, this is a true story. First day of camp, this is my first time really talking to him since signing there. He looks at me and says, and this is true word for word, this is his first words to me. I'm not making this up. Thibodeau comes up to me and says, hey man, excited for you to be here. I wanted Derrick, but you'll do great. You'll do great. And he walked away. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm not going to be here long. I'm not going to be here long. Within a month or two, guess who's on the team? Derrick Rose. I already knew I was on my way out. And the way it went down and the way they handled business was crazy, bro. They brought me in a dark room. It was Leon, Worldwide Wes, and Tibbs. They're all three sitting there in the dark with a little light. It's like an interrogation type thing. And they go, hey man, we're going to move you. We just got Derrick here. Until we find a right spot for you, you don't have to travel with the team anymore. And I ended up having to call Thibodeau. My fucking emasculating ass had to call him and ask him, can I please travel with you guys so I can continue to work out on my game and have trainers at my expense, and I'll support the guys who are playing ahead of me. I have no problems. They just let me travel with the team. And then eventually just traded, I don't even know where they traded me to. They traded me to somewhere that was going to waive me. They didn't even do
OKC or something.
Yeah, they didn't even do right by me. They traded me into a team that wasn't even going to use me.
Yeah.
So that whole thing where they brought me in the room and was like, hey, we're going to get you to a good situation. They ended up trading me to a team that had no use for me because I was OKC just rebuilding. They didn't have Jalen Williams. They didn't have Chet. These guys weren't even in the NBA yet. Shea wasn't even an MVP guy yet. So they had no reason to sign a 29-year-old, 30-year-old. So I ended up getting fucked. Well, mind you, COVID is going on, guys. All right? So remember, players had to get tested daily for the results. I go to get tested with my mother, and they denied me access at the facility to get tested, and my mom. So I had to go to a Walgreens as an NBA player and get tested. I call my agent and my pops. They fucking lose it. I get a bullshit-ass call from Wes. Oh, hey, man, sorry, I wasn't aware that you were coming to the facility to get tested. Man, get the fuck out of here. You know I was there. They know, You know they called you when I pulled up because I was outside for an hour complaining that how the hell can I get in and not be tested? They don't do business the right way sometimes, okay? That's what I'm fucking saying. I've been holding on to this story for a long time, and I got more, but I'm going to hold back, okay? Because I'm not the type of guy that wants to unturn every stone. So when you fire Tibbs, first off, I don't have any remorse to keep it 100 with you, but still, let's keep it professional. You fire Tibbs, and then you have no motherfucking plan.
Nope. All right, man. Listen, man. There's a lot of F-bombs. I forgot this. I forgot this wasn't edited. Excuse, for the people at home. We can go back retroactively. This is not a family show segment here with Austin Rivers. As you can see, the emotions are running high in this clip. Dropped a ton of F-bombs. I hope I can still get monetized for this video. Austin, you're lucky with the people like the worst take segment. If I get demonetized, I'm going at you for a check. But anyway, let's break this thing down. Very emotional, fiery take from Austin Rivers. He's like, well, first off, rate that call rate that call, people in the chat. Rate that call. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Tomatoes or fire emojis. You guys be the judge. It's your show. Well, he's like, why would anybody take the job because they fired Tibbs at the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, it's New York, bro. It's the New York Knicks. It's a tough job. There's a lot of pressure. But you think a guy like a Taylor Jenkins, where this is the only opening in the league, where you want to get back and get your resume back, if you're able to go past where Tibbs has gotten this team, you're a king. Tibbs is at home right now, sitting on $30 million, swimming in it like Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales. It's a great show. There's a lot of reasons why you would take the job. And let's not act like this is like the Charlotte Hornets revolving door coaches. Yeah, is it surprising to some that they got rid of him with 2 games short of the Eastern Conference Finals? That's fair. But, like Taylor Jenkins, some of the writing was on the wall. And if the players are out on him and the front office is out on him, you're gone. They just gave him the extension last year. Now, with the situation that he talked about with the Derrick Rose situation, he did speak on that a little bit when the Knicks did first get Derrick Rose. That basically they told him when he got here that, look, they wanted Derrick Rose. It hadn't worked out yet. And so he's not necessarily on solid ground. That's just the nature of the business. Just the nature of the business. And then, look, the whole COVID thing, I mean, do they owe it to him to go to the facility and get tested? I would have let him in. I wouldn't see why that's a big deal. Tibbs and Doc Rivers are friends. It's kind of sketchy, but the business is sketchy. It's a shady business. It's a cold-blooded business. Ain't no loyalty in this thing. So I don't know. I probably would have allowed him. Was there some sort of liability issue or things of that nature where the Knicks didn't want him to come in because he wasn't technically with the team? I don't know. I can't speak to that side of it. Now, he was tight. He was like, I brought my mother to the facility. I called my dad. He was tight, man. I think the Quivers thing may have gone to his head. Hey, remember Quivers? Hey, boy, y'all Knicks fan love you some nicknames. Quivers, Quickly and Rivers. Yeah, I love that tandem. Hey, I was a big Austin Rivers guy when he was here. Like that Utah game where he had the 25 points, 25 minutes. In typical Tibbs, sat him down. He didn't hear from him again the rest of the game. Quivers, right? So that was Austin Rivers, man. You guys let me know what you thought about that one. He was tight. Man. And then he goes on and say, that you do this thing without a plan. He's another guy. This team doesn't have a plan. I'm going to push back on that a little bit. Well, let's wait and see before we, roast this team for not having a plan, so to speak. Okay, so that was Austin Rivers. Now, the next one we're going to get to, Mook went in. Mook goes in, man, and we got to split this up into like 3 different parts because Marcus Morris, former Knick, absolutely goes in on the Tibbs situation and his old team. So let's get to Mook now. We're still on Worst Take. Let's get to Mook and hear what he has to say here. Here we go.
And this might not be politically correct. I was a fan of the firing of Tibbs. And that's not just me saying they should, have a plan, but I just didn't feel like he got the best out of his players, right? Like I felt like earlier in the season, I was saying is hey man, you gotta trust the bench. You gotta trust these other guys, and not only trust them to put them in the game, but you expecting to have the team to have a lot of camaraderie, right? Like when you're trying to win a championship, a lot of things goes into that. Not just playing 5 players and just being okay, let's get the most we can get out of them. We're playing 6 when you throw Mitchell Robinson. It's it's a team thing. You want your guys on the bench to be pushed. You want your guys, And you've seen that with teams like Indiana, teams like OKC, they got deep benches. everybody's knowing their role, everybody's getting a chance to play, everybody's happy. Like that keeps the camaraderie together. But then when you play 5 guys, no matter what you're saying, I've been on the bench. What you're saying is not happy. Like, the team is not going to be the happiest it can be when you're not even giving other people a chance to be success to help the team. When Mikal Bridges came out earlier in the season, he said, there's other guys on this team that can help. We don't need to play this many minutes. That right there should have showed you, like, they're not really feeling this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because no players are going out talking about what the coach should be doing. Right? Like people don't know, they don't catch that type of stuff. Like, he's telling you right then and there, hey, we're not really feeling this. Like, this shouldn't be happening like that, right? And you got players looking at the other players like, damn, I can't get no minutes. Like, I can't help this team at all. And, like, when you get to those points in your career, I mean, in the season, that really hurts the team. Like, when everybody's not really collectively together. Yeah, you won a couple series with just those 5 or those 6, but then when you get to the nitty gritty, when you go against a team that got 10 guys that's playing, you want the same thing on the other end, right? And I just felt like that has to go with either Tibbs just wanting to do it his way and not really, listening to the players. And I felt like now, with the way that the NBA is constructed with a lot of younger teams, you have to be a coach that listens to the guys.
All right. That was part one. We breaking this thing down. We were breaking this thing down. So that was Mook Morris. Rate that part of the take. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. That was Marcus Morris saying he was happy or he was down for the Tibbs firing because, number one, and he said that key word. Remember, I brought this up about the player exit interviews. Players not knowing their roles. He said that to a T. And he spoke about the fact that you got to listen to these guys when they're calling out. And we talked about that Mikal Bridges situation at length when it came out prior to that Portland game when he had the game win and saved the team. And look, he is right in that. Look, when the Knicks went up against those deeper teams, i.e. Indiana, it took Tibbs up until game 3 to extend the bench, play Delon Wright, play Shamet, get Payne out of there. And then they started having some success. I thought that was a 5-star take right there. Few minutes of finance puts tomatoes. They're going with tomatoes on that take. I thought that was a 5 take by Mook on that part. All right, so here's more. And once again, this is courtesy of the Vince Good Word show on Yahoo Sports. Vince got our reaction. Look at his face. He's like, Mook going off. Mook don't mince words. So, okay, so that was that part. Let's keep going here. Let's skip up a little bit.
Okay, and that wasn't the popular hire. Like, nobody didn't know, like, why, what did they just go over there and get him for? But I understood because he will hold the guys in the locker room accountable. He was a guy that can actually talk to these guys, and you can tell because the first year they went to the championship, right? Like, that wasn't just the players. That was the players buying into this guy that's coming in and changing the culture, changing the locker room up and getting more respect from the players, pushing them to be their best. And that's where I think that because Tibbs been around so long, I don't know if he really even recognized how to do that, right? Like, that's a thing there where you could honestly see that from afar. Like, I don't know if he recognized how to do that. And I had some time I spent some time in there this year, actually.
This is Mook now talking about, remember, the Knicks brought him in. They signed him to a vet minimum contract going into this season and then waived him. So now this is Marcus Morris talking about what happened. Here we go.
I was going to be with the Knicks. So, I didn't plan on not playing this year. And I didn't even tell you that, but I was supposed to be with the Knicks this year. I had some other calls. I had some other teams. They called me from Left Street, and it was like, hey, we want you here. We want you to be around. We want you to help the guys. We want you to be a leader. Like, you might not play, but we want you here. I get there, I talk to Tibbs, and I kind of get that feel like this old school, you're going to do it my way. You can't play because X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how that worked, but yeah, I'm happy to be with New York. I don't give a who's the coach. I don't give a who's in the front office. I'm a Knick, and I like the city, and I like what it brings. So I felt like I can help with that. Obviously, the cat trade happened, which I knew was going to happen. before it even happened. And I thought I was sick because that's what they told me. Like, it was like, no matter what happens, you here. Don't even worry about it. You ain't going to play you here. And then normal Leon Rose and Nick, they make a trade. They go back on their word. Now I'm stuck with my in my hand because I turned down other offers because I thought I was going to be a Knick, right? And, like, I just felt like that was just, like, for me, that was just like a slap in the face. I'm a 14-year veteran. I've been around this league. I got a lot of respect. You guys called me, asked me to come here. I didn't ask to come over there. I wasn't calling the Knicks and saying, like, let's get me over the Knicks. I was trying to go somewhere else because I didn't think there was no interest. And then when it became interest, I pushed everything else I had to the side, and then they backdoored me. So I think the reason I'm getting to that, so since you backdoored me, you might as well let me be the coach now.
Yo, Mook is a funny guy, man. So, look, as he said, man, once the Towns trade happened, he got squeezed out. It's the nature of the business. They ended up going with Shamet. They kept Shamet. Mook got clipped. And they had Okeke. They waived him and brought him back on a G League deal. They should have kept Mook, man. I didn't like that maneuver. They should have kept Mook. Absolutely. They ended up holding out on that last roster spot and giving it to PJ Tucker later on down the road, but they absolutely should have kept Mook. This is what we were missing. Gritty. Toughness. He been here before. What'd he say? He said, I don't give a family show. I'm a New York Knick. Tough business, man. What do you guys think about that? They should have kept him. We were hyped, remember? We did a show when they brought Mook in there. Like, breaking news. That was one of our most watched shows. All right, so here we go again. Here we go. So there's more Marcus Morris on the Vince Goodwill show. Here we go.
Because look, I can get more out of the players than what we're seeing, right? And I'm serious. Like, I can have a staff and be able to get more out of the players than what the old school coaches are having. But I don't think it's a circus, right? All the coaches that they reached out to are really good coaches. So I would have done the same thing. Like, it's the Knicks. We were in the Eastern Conference Finals. You're in the Mecca. Like, yes, it's pressure. And that's another thing. You got to identify who can take that pressure, right? Like, we don't want to have to bring somebody in here and they have to fire them next year because then it looks like we really don't know what we're doing, right? So I don't think it's a circus, right? I think World Wide West, I've been on West for a long time, really good guy. Leon has been my agent. He's a little shaky, but he's been my agent. And, a couple of them guys on the team I've known for a while. I think they have a really good core. I just think you have to identify who fits the mold and not just the city, but like the locker room. Who can get the most out of the guys where they respect, where they want to play for, right? Like, you can obviously see that there's some joy in the game when, when you're getting coached by this certain guy, he can hold guys accountable. But what they're doing right now might look a little frantic, but it's the Knicks, it's New York, it's the media. Like, you want to go into the summer with all this cracking, you know what I'm saying? Keep people talking about the Knicks, but it looks like a circus because so many guys are turning the job down, right? They're like, no, I don't want that pressure. I don't want this. But most of them guys.
All right, well, just to stop him there, it is ironic that on one hand, he talks about the bad side of the business and them seemingly doing him dirty after the cat trade and clipping him after he turned down other offers that may have been gone by the time he became available. That's kind of, it's a tough part of the business. But then he said he didn't feel like the coaching search was a ish show like many are leading on. I thought I would agree with him there, but I don't agree where he's like, coaches are turning him down. It's not the coaches that are turning him down. It's the teams in which the Knicks are reaching out to get those coaches that are turning them down. So there's a little nuance there. But I thought by and large he's on point. All right, here's more move.
Are already stable where they're at too, and I just feel like they're just doing their due diligence and see if they can have a conversation. It ain't like they trying to hire him; they just want to interview him. So I think it's twofold. But you still got guys in the tuck like Mike Malone, right? Like Mike Malone.
Mike Malone's not getting the job. All right, so let's skip ahead. This is him on the need for locker room leadership. This is Marcus Morris. Here we go.
When they get Darryl out of there, I can go coach a Philly because this league is like everything's based on one guy. Like, no, build a system. Like build a system, build a program. So if he's not there, we can still plug some things and we can get some things done. That's how you build a team. Like just in case if something happens, okay, I got this system and that's how we, this the direction we gonna go in. And that's the only part about Philly. Like the coaching is a little.
All right, he's talking about Philly here. Let me skip up a little bit where he's talking about the Knicks locker room. There we go.
I feel like they would have been in the finals if they didn't trick that first game off being up so many points and giving a chance to Indiana to come back like that. But the difference between Indiana and difference between the Knicks right now is toughness. Like, it's no toughness on the Knicks on the floor right now. Like, it's no fire. Like, yes, they're really good basketball players. Like, JB is, one of the best scorers at his size that I've ever seen, being able to use his body and get to the paint and create shots. Cat, that's big man shooting big, which can be a gift and a curse at times, but I'm a big fan of Cat. But if I had to put my finger on it, it's like having a guy like a New Yorker or having a guy that's a tough guy that can bring more. Like sometimes the coaches can't bring that out of you. Your teammates have to bring that out of you. Like sometimes that's just the way it goes. Like I was on the team with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Yeah, it's different dynamic, but these are two quiet guys, right? Like I was the guy that was like, okay, I'm gonna bring the fire out these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? This is why they love me. I'm the guy that's gonna set the straight out, that's gonna push them, that's gonna do those type of things. I couldn't identify that on the Knicks this year, and I felt like they were really missing just that, like guy that felt like he was from New York, right? Like the guy that was like, I'm gonna get down and dirty. I'm gonna be the guy that lay somebody out. I'm gonna be the guy that foul somebody. I'm gonna be the guy that do this and do that. I felt like they were missing that. And yes, I think
that was Dante. I felt like Dante was the dude that did that for them last year.
Yeah. That's no knock to him. Like, ain't nobody backing down from Dante DiVincenzo. Ain't nobody, like, he's not the cat that's to foul nobody. And they be like, oh, you know what I mean? They been to grip Dante DiVincenzo up and say, hey, little man. Like, but good dude, good player. Like, no knock to that, right? Like, no knock to him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a real gangster out there. Like, you need that in New York. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that team was really missing that in those key intricate parts of just like having like a real leadership. Like I even said on another podcast with KFC, like, yo, you might have to play Tuck, right? You might have to put Tuck out there. You might have to put Tuck, muck the game up, take a couple fouls, get that energy going in the guard like it's supposed to be, right? And I felt like that the Knicks didn't really identify that, and I was supposed to be that guy, and they kind of like pushed that to the side, like we don't need that to win. And a couple of things happened. They did get to Eastern Conference Finals, but then that caught up to them, and it always does.
Mook standing 10 toes down. He said, That was that Philly talk right there. That Philly ball came out of him. He was like, He said they ain't worried about the big ragu like that. They ain't really worried about that. No disrespect, but Man, Mook went 10 toes down. This is why we wanted him back here, man. Leon West, what happened? We needed Mook back here, man. That would have been some excitement. He would have bodied some people up this year. That would have been very, very entertaining. What do you guys think, man? Was the toughness, was the grittiness missing? And you can get your worst take tees at shop.KnicksFanTV.com, KnicksFanTV.com. Get your worst take tees. Was it missing? I thought so. There was a grittiness that we were looking for with this team all year. They showed it sometimes. I thought the Detroit series brought that out of them. I thought it really did. I thought the Detroit series really brought that out of them. Brunson's tough, man. He's tough as nails. I rock with Cap heavy. Julius had that, he was a little crazy. He had that little, tweak. He wasn't a smart leader, but he was a little, he was a little off. Ihart had that grittiness. I thought Dante had it. Whether or not Mook respected it, I thought Dante had it. But they needed that, and it was clear as day because they saved that last roster spot to bring in P.J. Tucker. Yes, to be a locker room voice, but maybe to help toughen these guys out and be a straight shooter with these guys when they're playing soft. So this is why they should have brought Mook back, man. What a guy, man. Great soundbite. I mean, this is the Mook that we need instead of first take Mook that's just out there just throwing out ridiculous worst takes. Just keep it a bean.